Hey everyone, it's Kat and I did a check-in for a palette review. I'm doing a review on this. It should be up before this video, hopefully, but it's a new Glaminatrix palette. I like the look so much, I'm like, I'm gonna rush and do my Project Pan check-in for October while I'm wearing makeup. So that's what I'm gonna do. Since this is the October check-in, I need to start being a little bit more ruthless about what products I think I can finish by the end of the year, which ones do I like enough to carry over to the next year, and which can I just get rid of, because there are some that are sort of dragging their feet and I don't really like them. And I sort of feel like having a couple months left of the year, it's like, it's time to make some decisions and trim some fat. So I might be doing that this month. What have I finished? I have finished a couple of things, which is great. So I introduced a foundation last month and I said that it's only got a little bit to go. Finished it, was it last month? The month before? Whatever, I finished it. It's my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. Well, this is been discontinued in Australia for a while. I mainly wanted to get rid of it because it is so old. But yeah, that's empty, completely empty. So that's one. I am actually going to replace that, even though I've got a liquid foundation that I want to use up and I have been struggling with it a little bit. There's another product that I am trying to force myself to use. Now I did a review on this and I'll link it down below because I like the product. It's by Lorelei and it is the Baked Balance and Brighten powder foundation in the shade Fair. Now, this matched me perfectly, but one thing I noticed about it is that as you wear it down, because it's a marbled product, I might zoom in to show you, as you wear it down, the light shades sort of get worn down faster. I don't know if it's like a softer powder, but these darker and the more orange shades sort of stick up a little bit more, and they've made this powder, which was altogether a good shade match for me, it's actually made it very dark now. So it's actually quite hard for me to use. Now, annoyingly, I did buy a backup of this because when I first started using it, again, it was a great shade match, really liked it. But now as I'm wearing it, I'm like, it's just looking so bronze face and like fair body. So I'm gonna try to use this because the weather's getting a bit warmer. It's actually nice as a setting powder over something like a BB cream just to add a little bit more coverage, or I can use it down my sort of chest and my neck if I want to bronze up something a little bit. So I want to try to use this up, and I'm going to give the backup to my mum, who is a little bit darker than me and doesn't like full-on liquid foundation, but I just want to get this done because I'm struggling with it, and I could potentially use it as like a slight bronzer. I don't think it's bronzy enough though, that's a problem. Anyway, I want this done by the end of the year, and if I place another order from Lorelei, I will just have to order it in the lighter shade. So that's that. I want this done. I'm going to weigh it. Another product I have to weigh, but I'll just talk about it because this is sort of like, I'm going to talk about base products first. The Kat Von D True Portrait Foundation. This I have been struggling with a little bit. Again, sort of higher coverage, more matte products my face doesn't like at the moment, and this just feels like it's going on forever. Now this is a product that regardless of where I get to at the end of the year, it's going to be decluttered if it's not used up because I don't actually want it, and I want to start the year using products that I kind of want to use, or at least having a fresh start. So I'm hoping this will be done soon. The really frustrating thing, and I've said this many times, I don't know where the actual foundation insert part starts. So I don't know if, if I see it at the window here, is that nearly done, or I don't know. So I'm going to give this one more month, and what I might do is if I still dislike it, I've been mixing it with a sort of illuminating primer product and it's okay, but I just don't love it. And I'm getting impatient with products that I really don't love. Like I don't hate it, but I don't want it. If I'm not making good progress and I'm not seeing like the end of this by next check-in, what I might do is just declutter this and focus instead on my Kat Von D concealer. This is the Good Apple concealer. This one I don't mind. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. And I have been sometimes using this as a foundation. So I actually like this more than this. So I would prefer to get rid of this and focus on using this up by the end of the year. So again, when it comes to next year's Project Pan, I have like a whole fresh start when it comes to foundation and concealer. So this it's on warning. The second thing I used up, and this is the last thing for the month, is I used up my Colourpop eyeliner. This is that brown twist up eyeliner. There's nothing left. A little last bit broke off. I'll have where I was up to last month. There really wasn't much. So I'm actually going to be introducing a new eyeliner. This is the, oh, it's all rubbed off. This is the Rimmel Scandalized Kohl Kajal Waterproof Eyeliner in green. Now I mainly use pencil liners for like my waterline. Sometimes I'll smudge on my top lash line. And this is just a really nice, really sort of creamy green with a bit of gold in it. So that one, because it's sharpenable, you can make some good progress. So I'm hoping to use this by the end of the year. Again, I sort of want to introduce things that I feel like I can do by the end of the year. Otherwise, I'm just going to sort of wait. I'm going to talk quickly about some more base products. My primer from Bobbi Brown. I love this. I haven't actually been using it much this month. I don't even know why. I think I've been trying to just play with a few other things. But again, this is a product I really like and I'm happy to use it really sparingly and bring it into next project. So I'll have weights of that on the screen, but I'm not rushing that one. I've got essentially two bronzers. I'm going to be honest and say the Marc Jacobs one. I have not used it in this last month. Maybe I've used it once. It's just a bit too bronzy for what I'm after at the moment, and it being very matte with my skin being a bit too sort of dry and matte looking. This isn't the greatest, but I do want to finish this up next year. So I'm still going to keep it in my project. What I've been using a lot more, I introduced this last month. This is the Kevyn Aucoin, the Neo highlighter in Sahara. It's the Golden Rose Glow. Now this is a really, really subtle highlighter. So it does have more champagne than like a rose gold and then a bronze. I've been using this a lot as my bronzer. So I'm using it as a bronzer today. It's very, very subtle. So it's barely like just a little bit of a glow. And the color suits me a lot better at the moment. So this is a good like winter bronzer, and this gets into blush highlighter territory. There's not enough used to see any dent in it. So besides the fact, I'll have photos on the screen, but besides the fact that the writing is completely gone, which I don't know if I don't think it was last time. I think there was a little bit of writing on the bronzer side. There is really nothing to show, but I can tell you I've been using this every other day. So this is what I've been using the most out of the cheek products. I have also been going crazy on my blush. This is the L'Oreal Life's a Peach blush. I really like it. I will have a comparison on the screen. Hopefully you can see some indents in there because I use the heck out of this. I scrubbed my brush in it. I'm wearing it today. That's that peachy color. I really like it. It's not a super pigmented blush, so I can use a bit of it, but it's very firm. And I'm like, I try to put it on. I'm not seeing much like usage, but I'm hoping to hit pan soon, and I use this religiously like 5 days a week. Something that I'm using on and off. I think I am seeing some progress, but really not heaps. I like it though, so I'm going to keep going with it. It's the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in Out of Quartz. Now I'm not wearing this today, but I use it like sometimes all over my cheek, and it gives a really beautiful glow. It's sort of like a blushy, bronzy highlighter all in one. It's just a product that I sometimes forget to use because I am using like a glowy bronzer and I am using a lot of blush. So this is one of those steps that I sometimes forget, but I am confident that if I keep going with this, I can use it by the end of the year. I just need to have it out and be like a prominent thing that to be fair, if I reach for this, I'm going to not use something like this because this acts a little bit like a color base, but it's very pretty, and yeah, I'll have photos on the screen, but I'm going to keep using it because I really do enjoy it. Something that I'm wearing on my cheeks today, because I'm not really going for my Project Pan eyeshadows at the moment. I'm doing a multi-look eyeshadow palette review, which is taking up a couple of weeks of eyeshadow usage. I am actually using my MAC. This is the Extra Dimension eyeshadow in Lorelei. I'm using it on my cheeks. So this is what the highlighter is today. And this is, I think I've made some good progress on that. That's pretty much all pan. It's just that there's stuff slightly around the edge and slightly in the pan that I can access. But I feel like the best way to get some usage, like to get good visible usage with this, is to use it on the eyes quite heavily, but also use it as a bit of a highlighter blush in one. So I'll have photos on the screen. You'll see some progress, and this should be done by next month. If it's not, I don't know what I'm doing. I would have forgotten completely about it, which I don't want to do because I want to use it. But it gives a very similar effect to the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek. So it gives that sort of rosy, champagne-y, bronzy kind of all-in-one look, and they both, you know, they both do it, which is nice. Speaking of eyeshadows, I've actually done some repressing with this palette. Again, I haven't used it for a week because I am using my Glaminatrix one. But this shade and this shade, which I previously hit pan on, I'll have a photo on the screen. I've repressed them. They're very hard to pick up. They're getting oily, and like to pick it up with my brush, they sort of chunk up and they're not the nicest. So I thought repressing them with isopropyl alcohol would make them dry out a little bit and be a little bit easier to pick up. So I only did that yesterday. So these are completely like repressed, and I'm hoping I'll see some good progress by the end of the year because I just want this shade done. Once this shade is done, the palette can go because I don't have any use for it anymore. But I'll have a photo of where I'm up to now versus last month. And I'll also have a photo on the screen of what they looked like before I repressed them because there was some pan progress. Last month I introduced a perfume. So this is the Tokyo Milk Dark. Everything and Nothing. I love this so much. I'm mainly getting rid of it because it's one of my oldest perfumes at the moment in my collection, and it's still around, so I can repurchase it. It's not discontinued. Last month when I introduced it, it was up to here, and now it is down to around here. So I have used quite a lot of it. I have been going to town with this. I'm just like living my best life, enjoying it, because previously I actually thought it was going to be discontinued because it was out of stock everywhere, and I was like squirreling it away. But now I'm like, no, it's still around. I'm going to enjoy it, and I have been. So I feel like by the end of the year this will be done, and I'm loving it. It doesn't clash with anything. It doesn't give me a headache. The notes are sweet orange, pressed petals, desert moss, and tea leaves, and it's like such a really nice warm weather scent as well. So I am just going to go to town with this and happily finish it by the end of the year for sure. A couple of random eye products. My eyeshadow primer. So this is the slightly deeper one. So it's medium dark. It's by NARS. It's the Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. I mentioned that I like to use this almost as a crease color. So I use it on my lid and then I blend it into the crease because it's this color here. It's like perfect sort of transition crease color. Also, it's really nice as just like a cream eyeshadow on its own. So if I want a matte look or a really quick look, I just blend that in, and it just sort of enhances the eye a little bit of mascara, off you go. And it's like, once it's set, it doesn't budge. So it's a really, really good sort of like liquid eyeshadow slash base. And I will have weights on the screen because I actually don't know how much I've used of this, but weights on the screen. I am still going with my Benefit Kabrow. It is a journey. I am tempted. I don't know if, can I finish this by the end of the year? I think there's a chance, but it's a fairly slim chance. I will have photos on the screen. I do use it. Lately, to be fair, I have been pretty late, not lazy, but I've had some early morning work meetings, and when I sit down at my computer and I'm about to like get into a meeting, I'll grab a pencil and just go in my brows. So this has actually been used a bit less this month than it should have been or has previously been, but I'm just gonna have to make a conscious effort to use that more. Again, there's a chance that I can use it up by the end of the year. I'm just thinking, do I get rid of it if I don't? But then I would have come so close. I'm just going to try it. Just try it. Let's put some on now. Bugger it. Don't even have a mirror. Let's just put some on for the sake of it. Go on brows, get a bit darker. I do like the product, and that's a thing that is sort of hard as well. I want it done because I just had it for so long, but I don't hate it. It's just one of those things that just feel like it's lagging behind. All right, the last products are the lip products. Okay, I feel like I have been making a conscious effort to use my lipsticks more in the past month. I have very little left of my Lady Danger. I use this maybe at least 3 times a week, and I try to reapply. So this, if it's not done by the end of the year, I'm gonna be mad because have been trying so hard. I've got a little bit more of my Velvet Teddy. So this is what I'm wearing today with the lip gloss. And there's really like not much left. This is sort of like my daily lip color that I tend to go for. So again, I think I've made some decent progress this month. I'll have some comparisons on the screen from last month to this month, but I am determined to have these done by the end of the year. To be fair, that's like 2.5 months away. So if I've been using it at the rate that I've been using it this past month, I feel like I can get them done. I just, again, need to have them out using them. They need to go everywhere with me. I had to pull these out of my handbag, but I have also been having to rummage in my handbag to find them. So they need to come everywhere with me. That's what I've decided. A product that's on my chopping block, but I'm tempted to get rid of it, but I don't know what to replace it with just yet, is my Colourpop So Juicy Plumping Lip Gloss. This is in the shade She's Here. Now, I actually have this mixed with Velvet Teddy on my lips today. That's my favorite way to wear this because on its own, it can be a little bit pale and it can be very gluggy, sort of thick looking. So I feel like if I put this on just over the top of a little bit of lipstick, it's not too bad, but on its own, it can just look really like separate, like, you know, when it sticks and it makes those like goopy lines. I'm tempted to just say, no, I don't want to keep this. And I'm just going to focus on the lipsticks for now because I feel like using this, even though it does pair nicely with one of the lipsticks, I think it's just holding me back a little bit. And I really want to figure out what other lip products I want to focus on. This is just, it's a little bit high maintenance. If you over apply it, you got to like dab it off. It's not one that you can just throw on, you know, as you're going out the door without a mirror because it does have that squeezy tube, which means that you can over dispense it very easily. Whereas with a wand applicator, doe foot applicator, you tend to apply a thinner amount. And the progress that I've made, so that's where I was up to last month, it's realistically only like down to there. So I feel like this is going to be like 7 to 8 months of me struggling with it. So I might actually just say goodbye to it and not like bother and just focus on these. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. All right. So this month I'm getting rid of this one because it is just not worth the hassle. And I've got so many more lip glosses just sitting there. And I think if I'm struggling with this for 6 months, I've got other lip glosses that I can enjoy and that in that 6 months are 6 months older than they were today. So I may as well just use those instead. So this is going, and then potentially next month, if I'm struggling with the foundation again, that's going to go and I'm going to focus on the concealer instead because, yeah, I don't want them kicking around for next year. All right, so that's my update. I'll either have this Glaminatrix palette, I'll show it to you anyway. I'll have this palette either the review up and it's linked in the description box, or it will be like the next video coming up. On my eye today, I'm wearing this column here and it's very pretty. So that's it. Let me know if you've been doing a project pan. Are you getting a bit impatient with some products towards the end of the year? Are you seeing some good progress that's encouraging you? Are you going to trim the fat? Are there some products you're just like, I can't be bothered anymore? Let me know in the comments. I love to have a bit of a chat. And thank you to my channel members. You're all beautiful. Mwah! Your names will be on the screen. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.